All right. First, I want to start by saying Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah. Call Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shah, Bashem, Bakak Kadash. Of honors, positive, great wisdom, who teach well, peace, citation to all you Aki four corners of the earth. And I'm Yaquan from where I soul. Yahweh Shah sanctified ones. Coming back to you with a quick video. We're not gonna make it long. All right. Um, right quick. Is this what is the worth of an Israelite man to you women? Right. See, this world has us set up, right? Esau got us set up in a mind frame that we're looking for the super tall, we want the 6'2", 6 foot tall, we want the slender, slim built cut. You want all these different things to what the world advantage of what a man should be, right? But what is the worth of an Israelite man? You understand? So, women feel they can choose, be choosy. I mean, let me choose the man I want. No, it don't work like that. It don't. You need to be chose. See, you women don't choose an Israelite man. An Israelite man chooses you. So if you've been chosen, then you've been chosen by Yahweh Shemal Shah to be with that man. That man has chosen you. That's the choice he made. And you're the choice that he wanted. And that's what it is. Right? But see, women these days now are so used to being in a position of being able to choose who, where, and when, right? Because it's the new saying. It's well, not the new saying now, but it's the same saying that's always been, right? The saying has always been that women fuck up, women fuck up, right? So meaning that women are always looking to have a higher standard in their mind of what a man should be, right? So they choose. So their higher standard of a man in their mind is a man who deal with a lot of different women who don't keep the women in their house. That they're fucking this woman, fucking that woman over here, fucking that woman over there. They just all this committing all this adultery all around. Right? Why is it adultery? Is it adultery because a man is laying with multiple women? No. It's adultery because that man is laying with multiple women and leaving the multiple women, going to lay with other multiple women, and those multiple women are going to lay with other multiple men. That's creating adultery. Okay. So he's supposed to keep what he has, what you eat, you keep, right? So here women have in their frame that in their mind frame that, well, I can still choose. No, it's not your choice here. It's not the way the Lord works, right? Because one, the head is the man, right? And the whole point is to be chosen by that man, and women have a power now that they have never had before in life. And you see what the world has happened, what has happened in this world now that women have that kind of power to choose. And they choose wrong. You got a lot of women that got babies out of wedlock, got babies, no husbands, uh, still got a high mind, right? Still haughty minded. You know, um, women who's not in the best of shape. Like these women here that this gentleman has, now he's in decent shape, what it looks to be, but his women, you know, his women are all in proportion, right? But as a man, that's your prize in life as being a man, is to have your women by your side, right? So, all right, quick, I want to go to this story. I'm gonna go to the story of Ruth right quick. All right, I'm gonna sum the first part of it up. It's like about 3 chapters, but I'm gonna sum the first part of it up. Book of Ruth go back to Naomi. Uh, it's the book of Ruth, but it started off talking about Naomi and her husband Amalek and their 2 sons. They moved to land of Moabites, right? They moved over to the area of the Moabites and they took Moabite wives, okay, and the 2 sons, and they the Lord put them to death, and the husband. So which would have been concubines, but their wives, with your wives, concubine is a Gentile woman or a heathen woman. Let's put it like that, because we could be Gentiles in the Gentile state of mind, right? So anyway, but the heathen women, the other women of the other nations, strange women, right, was a Moabite woman, was of the other nation, and they took 2 wives, and when they died, they left them They left them women alone, right? Because a woman is to take on a man's name, right? A woman is to take on a man's name, not a man to take on a woman's name. Okay, because why? Because the man is the most important thing to the Lord, is the man, because everything goes through the man. Everything is called through man, right? That's why this world is shaped like. That's why Esau's world is. I mean, it's basically a man, but they let women dominate it. But they know the world wasn't built by women; it was built by men. You know, and it was built on the backs of the slaves of the men, right? And the women were laying on their backs as Esau's concubines and doing slavery or out on the fields, right? But the point being that I'm making is that when you go back to the story of Ruth, Ruth cried and cried, and she went with Naomi to her house. She told her, she said, let your God be my God, let your people be my people, and let your God be my God. Okay, so she just gave an oath unto Naomi. So as she went back, she went into a field. Naomi sent her over to the field, which was Boaz's field, the next of kin. I'm gonna read something here, which Boaz says. Now, this is Ruth chapter 3. You can read the whole book of Ruth. It's a beautiful book if you want to learn, especially Israelite women need to learn and understand what the Israelite women do, and how they and she wasn't even and she was more of an Israelite woman than any of these Israelite women who call themselves Israelite women can be ever today, right? She was in order. Okay. Right here, this is let me read. This is Ruth chapter 3, let me jump up a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna just start at 1. This is chapter 3 and 1. Ruth chapter 3, verse 1. Then Naomi, her mother-in-law, said unto her, my daughter, shall I not seek rest for thee, that it may be well with thee? And now is not Boaz of our kindred, with whose maidens thou wast behold, and wineth barley tonight in the threshing floor? Wash thyself therefore, and anoint thee, and put thy raiment upon thee, and get thee down to the floor. But make not thyself known unto the man, until he shall have done eating and drinking. And it shall be when he lieth down, that thou makest mark the place where he shall lie, and thou shalt go in and uncover his feet and lay thee down. Okay. And he will tell thee what thou shalt do. And she laid at his feet, because the man is the head. Okay. She laid in, because a woman is to be tender, delicate. Okay. So she laid there because she was in need, right? She was in need of what? A man. She understand that a man gives her power. It gives her credence. It gives her notice. A man makes a woman who she is, right? The way that the Lord has it. Okay, but in this time, Esau just done fucked it all up and flipped everything upside down, right? Verse 4, and it shall be when, verse 5, and she said unto her, all that thou sayest unto me, I will do. So she followed the directions of her mother, right? Which was a mother-in-law, but that became her mother. Okay, that became her family. She gave up the oath to her family. She gave it up for Israel because she wanted to be a part of the Israelites. Okay. And go back to Balaam. Balaam said, I would give my left arm to be an Israelite. Or was it my right hand? One of those. But the Balaam said he would give, a limb of his body to be who we are, right? Because we are a blessed people. Okay. And verse 6, and she went down into the floor and did according to all that her mother-in-law bade her, which told her to do. And when Boaz had eaten and drinking, and his heart was merry, he went to lie down at the end of the heap of corn, and she came softly. She didn't come, hey, nigga, run, nigga, get your ass up, nigga. You gonna take me? No. She came in what you would call fear. She came delicate. Okay. She came passively. Okay, as a woman should come, right? And uncovered his feet and laid her head down. Okay. She laid at his feet because she wanted him to be her head. Okay, to protect her. He was to be her protector. He was to be her husband. Okay, her watchman over her. Okay, and it came to pass at midnight that the man was afraid and turned himself. He was surprised, right? Like, whoa, what the hell? Who's that down there? Okay. And behold, a woman lay at his feet. And he said, who art thou? And she answered, thine handmaid. Spread therefore thy skirt over thine handmaid, for thou art a near kinsman. Okay. So she wanted to be covered. Boaz was a covering. He was a covert from the storm. Okay. She had lost her husband, and she understood and knew that she needed to have another husband. And she understood, and Ruth understood and knew that in order for her to be married, because she had to have one had to be next to kin. They had to stay in the family line. And that's another thing that is not practiced here, right? Because if your brother died and he don't have an offspring, if he has another brother or a father, when you go back to the story of Judah, right? Judah and Tamar, and Judah and his it was 4 sons or 3 sons. Well, he had more than 4, but there was the 4 sons. There was the youngest son. There was the 3 that had one wife, and one died. The other, and the Lord took the other one. He was supposed to give seed unto her. He didn't do it. The Lord took him away, and so forth and so on. And then ended up being Judah. That I was going to bring that story out too, but it ended up being Judah, which that's a great story. Same thing. She understood and knew she was promised. Right, Salaki. Right, I'm gonna go back to the story of Ruth. Speaking of the story of Judah and Tamar, she was promised to the sons. He promised her. He said, "Okay, well, I got one last son. I'll give you to him." Okay, and she wanted it. She understood that. She was fine with it. She didn't care how he looked. She didn't care if he was older, younger. She didn't care. She just wanted to be taken by a man of the Lord. And that's the way that our women need to understand they have to be. When you get chosen, you're chosen. Accept it. Be happy with it. Be gracious for it. Praise Yahweh Shema Shai for it, because he gave you a blessing. A man is that blessing for you. It's your salvation. He gave you salvation. Well, I wanted my salvation to be 6 foot, this, that. But that's not what the Lord gave you. The Lord gave you what he wanted you to have, and you turned it away. So same when it go back to Tamar and Judah, when Judah went out to I forget when he went out to I think he was pillaging, or he was going out looking. I gotta go back to the story. But the point is that he was out, and he ended up coming to a city, and he was looking for some sex. He wanted him a little harlot. And a little harlot came up, whatever, and which was Tamar. She wasn't a harlot. He thought she was, but he laid with her because he promised her his son. He never did it. He forgot about her. He sent her back to her father's house, and that's nothing. Women were sent back to their father's house because if a woman's not married, she's supposed to stay in her father's house, not to be touched, right? But he sent her back, and he never came back and got her. His son married another woman. Read the story; it's a beautiful story. And he went off. I think I can't remember. He searched for gold or something. And I had to go back to the story just to remember, just to make it right. But you can also go back and look it up yourselves. But when she found him, she was standing on the corner like she was a whore. He went into the house with her, laid with her, right? Gave seed unto her, right? And then come down the line, he gave her bracelet. He gave her staff. She asked for her bracelet and stuff. He asked, "What can I do to you?" I'll be back. He didn't have money to pay her, and he was like, "Well, I'll be back. What can I do until I get back?" She said, "You just give me your staff and your bracelets, basically." And he did it. She left. He came back. He couldn't find her, and until one day they found Tamar with child, and they said, "Hey, she's been played the part of a whore," because everybody understood and knew what Tamar's job was to wait until Judah had given her to his son, and he forgot about her. He didn't do it, and they brought her in, and he was going, basically put her to death for being a whore because she was giving it to his sons. She was giving it to his son, whatever son that was that the father felt like he wanted to give it to. That's who the father gave it to. Okay, Judah played the place of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. He had the rights to give her to who he wanted to give her to. It wasn't Tamar's right to choose who she wanted. Okay, she couldn't choose each son that she wanted to go down the line with. One son died. He said, "Well, here go my other son." That son died. Says, "Okay, here, you take her," because that's the way it went, right? So when they found out he was going to be wroth with her But when she presented the staff, the bracelets unto Judah, he was like, "Oh shit!" It was him who committed the. It was him who committed the wickedness, not her. She was righteous because she knew what the Lord was meant for her to do, was to have seed, was to bring seed to Judah's line, okay, and until his sons, which is goes back to Judah. They're the same line, same seed. So she had to bring that seed back forth. Her job was to bring that seed back into the earth, okay, and she did it through who? And it ended up being the father, okay. So she didn't care. She wasn't choosy. She was like, "Look, I'm trying to hurt salvation, right? I'm gonna let me before I even go there. Let me go here right quick because scripture. All right, right here. This is this is First Timothy's. Should be First Timothy's. Yep, this is First Timothy's. Yeah, this is First Timothy's 2 and about 14. Yeah, this is Timothy's 2. Nah, 15. Okay, this First Timothy's 2 and 15. Notwithstanding, she shall be saved in childbearing, if thy continue in faith and charity and holiness with sobriety. So when you can read the whole, okay, whole thing. Okay, this is really more like a this. As a matter of fact, I'm just reading. This is more of an instruction for women. Okay, First Timothy's 2 and like start about 9. It's like an instruction for women. Okay, it's an instruction guide basically. But it's First Timothy's 2 and 9. Uh, in like manner also the woman adorn thyself in modest apparel, with shamefacedness and sobriety, not with broidered hair or gold or pearls or costly array. Right? Don't so like these women, they want to go around have their hair done and all. I mean, not saying you can't. Now, don't get it wrong. Don't get it twisted. Not wrong with looking good and looking nice, but that should not be your one main and only objective in life is vanity. To be seeing yourself in a such I'm so okay, because that's not your purpose. Now it's good, look good, of course. We just like women look good, smell good, be dressed to the night. That's nothing wrong with that. You know, have your bonnets on your head. You know, have your hijab. If you got a hijab, and you should wear those. You know, but which becometh woman professing godliness. How do you do that? By doing the will of Yahweh Shem Shah. How does a woman do the will of Yahweh Shem Shah? By submitting herself to her husband. Okay, to an Israelite man, to a man of knowledge and wisdom, of understanding of the Bible. Okay, with the proper knowledge, right? With Yahweh, with good works. Let the woman learn in silence with all subjection. But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man. So at never once should a woman tell a man where, what, and how to do anything. Now, can you give a suggestion? Can you have a conversation with your husband? Can you? Yes, yeah, of course. But are you to tell him what you can do? No, you're out of bounds. You know, you're out of bounds. Now, if your husband say, "Hey, look, babe, what you think we should do? You want to do this? Hey, I kind of, you give me your opinion. You know, give me your best opinion. Let me know what's in your mind, because it might be something the Lord might have put something on you that you might. Oh man, damn, that makes sense. I didn't see that. Cool, I can fuck with that, right? But to be in silence, right? Shut up. For Adam was first formed, then Eve, and Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in transgression. So women don't have that authority because they fucked up. Notwithstanding, so the Lord gave you a way out. Notwithstanding, she shall be saved in childbearing, not just any child on this earth, because not every child is a child of the promise. Not every child is the child of Yahweh Shem Shah. But now, can you be saved? Yes, through childbearing, through bearing a child, a son, right, of the Lord, of bringing a prophet back, bringing a man of the Lord back. Okay. Notwithstanding, she shall be saved in childbearing. Why do you say that? Because who is the scriptures about? It's not about the woman. It's about the man. It's about the Israelite man. It's not about the heathen man. It's not about no other nation, but it's about the nation of Israel, chiefly the man. And the women come right along with it. Okay. Notwithstanding, she shall be saved in childbearing if they continue, okay, in faith, in charity, in holiness, with sobriety. And how do you do that? By serving your man, by serving the Israelite man, by walking the customs, doing the customs of Yasharahla, okay, doing the will of the Father. How do you do the will of the Father? When you go to First Corinthians, you learn and you to be submissive to your husband. Okay, you learn to work under the guise of your husband. Okay, you let down your pridefulness. Okay, but that's the point that I want to. But through childbearing women, that's the purpose, because that is the woman's purpose, is to bear her children. And if you know anything about Ruth, she her son was Jesse, okay, that she bore through Boaz, and who was Jesse's son is King David. Okay, now did Jesse have many other children? Of course, but through that union, she begot Jesse. She brought a prophet unto this earth. Who brought one of the greatest men on this that has ever walked this earth is King David. Okay, she's proud to be that woman who, you see, that was the complete pride. And like Mary, she was proud to be Yahushai's mother. The pride wasn't in herself. It's not in her looks. It's not because, and I'll guarantee Ruth was bad as shit, right? Ruth probably was banging, okay, but that wasn't her pride. Her pride wasn't her. Her pride was that she wanted to be a part of that man, and that man gave her a child who brought one of the most greatest men that's ever walked the face of this earth out. Now that's pride. Now that's what a woman can brag about. That's what I did. That's my life accomplishments. Okay, like you go back to Samuel's mother. Samuel's mother's the same way. She was so proud to have bore Samuel, and she gave him to the Lord. Her pride was not into herself, but it was into the fact that the Lord blessed her womb to bring forth a prophet, a great prophet of the Lord, onto this earth. See, they not caring about. They know what a man's worth is. Who is that man that you are with? What is his worth? Who is that man? Because it's not the stature, not the man's stature. It's what's inside the man. You got to remember that. The Lord tells you that in Solomon in 1 Samuel. It's not, he doesn't look what's on the inside of a man, on the outside of a man. The Lord sees on the inside. See? And that's the key that women can't understand and know. That the way the Lord sees us, he doesn't see our outside. He sees what's in us, because he knows what spirit he put in you and the type of man that is. See? And the blessing is to be chosen by Israelite man. And that's what a lot of women don't understand, right? So here we go. Back to the story of Ruth. Okay. And I'm trying to make this long, but I don't want to be long, but like I'm gonna try to cut it. But right here, let me go to this is Ruth chapter 3, verse 8. And it came to pass at midnight when a man was afraid and turned himself, and behold, a woman lay at his feet. And he said, Who art thou? And she answered, I am Ruth, thine handmaiden. Spread therefore thy skirt over thine handmaiden, for thou art a near kinsman. And he said, Blessed be thou of the Lord, my daughter, for thou hast showed more kindness in the latter end than at the beginning, inasmuch as thou followest not young men. Okay. So he was like, look, shit, you ain't going for them young dudes. You ain't run out here for these young dudes. Like you know, because so Boaz was older. So he's like, you ain't run out following these old dudes, these young guys, because she understood who the Lord wanted for her. Okay. She understood what her job was. She was in order because she had to stay in the line. She understood and knew she had to stay in the line of her first husband. So she had to get a next kinsman. She had to stay where she was, and she had to find a man of the Lord. And Boaz was a man of the Lord. Okay. So at the beginning, and as much as thou followest not young men. So she ain't running all after the young men like these hoochie mama hoes do now. Oh, right. Whether poor or rich, right? See, it's not about the money. We want to, it's not because it's about what the Lord wants, not about the rich and it's not about the poor. Okay. And now, my daughter, fear not. I will do to thee all that thou requirest, for all the city of my people doeth know that thou art a virtuous woman. And that word virtuous, when you go into it, it goes back to being a woman in pain, suffering, um, because she had lost her husband. Her husband died, so she was at that time. She was a matter of fact. I'll go. Let me grab it. I think I had got it up. Let me see if I get it. Let me go here right quick. When you go to the root word, when you go to the prime root of the word, when you look it up, okay, kahul, it's like whole, okay, in Hebrew, it's a whole, okay. It goes back to pain, formed, bring forth, pain, okay, trembled, travail, okay. So grievous, wounded, shake. All right. So she was in a she had grieved. She was a hurt woman. So he understood that. Because he knew that her husband had died. He understood that. Okay. They already knew that. Right. So let me go back to the story. And now, my daughter, fear not, I will be to thee all that I will do to thee all that thou hast request, for all the city of my people doeth know that thou art a virtuous woman, meaning she was a woman in pain, she was troubled at the time. And now it is true that I am thy near kinsman, howbeit there is a kinsman nearer than I. So he had her to tarry and wait for the morning. So he went through the council. They had the council over, went to the floor, right? I'm gonna jump. Let me jump down a little bit. This is verse 14, and he was telling about Terry here. Let me just, Terry this night, and it shall be in the morning that if he will perform unto thee the part of a kinsman. And what's the part of a kinsman? To lay seed into her, to have sex with her, take her into his house, make her part of his family, and to give her seed. Okay, to lay that blessed seed inside of her. Okay, to bring a profit out. Okay, let him do the kinsman part, but if he will not do the part of a kinsman to thee, then will I do the part of a kinsman to thee, as the Lord liveth. Lie down until the morning. And she lay at his feet until the morning, and she arose up before one could before one could know another. And she said, let it not be known that a woman came into the floor. Because why? Because she would have been what you would call defiled. So he didn't touch her. That's why he didn't lay it into her. He didn't give her because she wanted it. Okay. She said, lay your skirt over me. Okay. So she was going, give it to him. She was going to be his. She was going to give herself. But he said, well, but you're right. But I got to do a little more to this before I make this happen. Okay. So also he said, bring the veil that thou hast upon thee and hold it. And when she held it, he measured 6 measures of barley and laid it on her, and she went into the city. So he gave her a gift, right? He gave her food. Okay. And that was a custom of what we did for our women. Okay. We took care of them. And when she came to her mother-in-law, she said, who art thou, my daughter? The mother-in-law understood. Naomi understood. When she went down that threshing floor, she went down there to get her husband, right? She went down there to get Boaz. That was her job. She sent her down there to go, hey, I have a near kinsman. See if he'll take you. If he'll take you, you're good. Okay. And she said, these 6 measures of barley gave he me, for he said to me, go not empty unto thy mother-in-law. Okay. Then said she, still, my daughter, until thou know how the matter will fall. For the man will not be in rest until he have finished the thing this day, because she understood that Boaz wanted her, right? And Naomi understood the purpose and the laws that we had to go by, right? The rules that we had to go by, because there was next kinsman, so Boaz himself had to go by certain rules. Okay. Then went Boaz up to the gate and set him down there, and behold, the kinsman of whom Boaz spake came by, unto whom he said, ho, such a one, turn aside, sit down here. And he turned aside and sat down. And he took 10 men of the elders of the city and said, sit ye down here. This is the way we did things, right? It was an order. So you get 10 men out of your city. Hey, sit down, brothers. Hey, brother, we got a situation here we need to talk about. Come on, hey, brother, you come on, sit down. You my nearest kinsman, but we need to discuss the situation. And even though, it was who it was, boys, the rights went to the other kinsman, really. So she really should have went to the other kinsman. Okay. But, the other kinsman was like, I don't want her. So, Boaz said, I'll take her, but, go to the story. And he said unto the kinsman, Naomi, that is come again out of the country of Moab, selleth a parcel of land, which was our brother's. Elimelech. It's like in my name. Okay. And I thought to advise thee, saying, buy it before the inhabitants and before the elders of my people. And she understood that too. She had it because women didn't have the rights to have things in their name and their power. So they had to, sell it over to an Israelite man, which would be the next of kin. They set that plot of land and they'll probably work on that land. And she, and for her doing that, she would work on the land. Naomi, I'm speaking of, will work on that land for, it to have lodging, to have home. We took care of our people, but that land had to be turned into a man's name. So all that had to go back to a man, but Naomi was to be taken care of by, she was able to work on that land, eat, whatever she needed, she had. Okay, she still stayed in that house, but we kept that house because it had to go back to a man's name, of the kin. All right. And before the elders of my people, if thou will redeem it, okay, redeem it. But if thou wilt not redeem it, then tell me that I may know, for there is none to redeem it beside thee, and I am after thee. See, and he said, I will redeem it. Then Boaz said, what day thou buyest the field of the hand of Naomi, thou must buy it also of Ruth the Moabitess. Okay, so when he bought that land, Ruth came right along with it. So it's like, okay, cool. Now you got that land. Now there's a woman there that you have to take and put into your possession. She's yours now because you buy the land, you buy her. Okay. See, so the woman didn't have a choice here. There wasn't a choice for Ruth to say, I don't want him to buy. I want you, Boaz. No, no. This is the way it went. Look, she comes along with the land because Naomi come along with the land, Ruth come along with the land. Only thing about Naomi is that's your kinswoman, so you're not laying up with her. She's there, you're taking care of her, basically, because she lost her husband, which was your brother. And, so you're taking care of the family like you're supposed to. But you have a young maiden here who can be taken. And she needs to be taken, right? So then Boaz, what day thou buyest the field, so verse 5. Then said Boaz, what day thou buyest the field of the handmaiden of Naomi, thou must buy it also of Ruth the Moabitess, the wife of the dead, to raise up the name of the dead upon his inheritance. That's the point. Like I said, what is the point? It's a name to pull up more seed in that name. Okay, to raise up the inheritance. So we had to pass our daughter-in-laws down. Go back to the story of Judah. He passed her down to raise up name, to raise up seed. So that seed line to keep going, the continuance of that seed line, right? But he didn't do what he was supposed to. So, but she understood the law. She understood the understanding, like Boaz said, she understood that. So she just took it upon herself and acted as a prostitute and laid only with Judah and had seed with Judah. And it was done. See, she became his wife. Okay, he maybe said, okay, fine. She wasn't choosing picky. She's like, I don't have to have the young. I just want to lay up seed because I want to be saved. It's what's righteous. I want to do what's righteous, and I'm gonna do and serve you the way I'm supposed to serve my husband. You are my husband, and I'm going to serve you, and I'm going to do for you as I am told by the Lord, by the rights of the scriptures. Okay, the wife of the dead, to raise up the name of the dead upon his inheritance. And the kinsman said, I cannot redeem it for myself, lest I mar my own inheritance. Okay. Redeem thou my right to thyself. So what was his right? Okay. It was not Boaz's right to take her. And that's when a man is righteous. Boaz understood it. He wanted her, but he understood that he had to do it the right way. And if it was for him, the Lord would have blessed it for him. And that's what the Lord did. It was for him. So he did it the right way. And but what the kinsman say? I can't take her. I can't take her because I already got seed in my own. I'm good. I don't need. That's not what he needed. He didn't want it because he didn't want to mess up his seed line, be redeemed. So he's like, look here, you take that. You go ahead. It's yours. Okay. To raise up the name of the dead upon the hairs. And the kinsman said, I cannot redeem it for myself, lest I mar my own inheritance. Redeem thou my right to thyself, for I cannot redeem it. Now, this was the manner of the former time in Israel concerning redeeming and concerning changing. Okay. For to confirm all things. And what was the other men for? They were witnesses. The 10 men, there was your witness. That's your witness. That's your contract. Okay. They all witnessed it. They was there. They sat there. They seen it. They sat and had a council with Boaz and the kinsmen. They all listened. They understood. So it was done. Okay. That's the way we get things done. Right. Redeem thou my right to thyself, for I cannot redeem it. Now it was the manner of the former time in Israel concerning redeeming and concerning changing. For to confirm all things, a man plucked off his shoe and gave it to his neighbor. And this was a testimony in Israel. Okay. Therefore, the kinsman said unto Boaz, buy it for thee. So he drew off his shoe. Okay. And Boaz said unto the elder and unto all the people, yea, ye are witnesses this day that I have bought all that was Elamech's and all that was Chilion's and Mahalon's of the land of Naomi, of the hand of Naomi. Okay, so that's the father and the two sons, right? So he took over the possessions, okay, like a man is supposed to, right? Because in our customs, women cannot have that kind of control. Right, it goes. They have control through their husbands. The control that they have is through their husbands, and what their husband have. Even if a woman has all the rights, but it goes back to her husband. So her rights come through being married to a man, right, to an Israelite man. Okay. Moreover, Ruth the Moabitess, the wife of Mahlon, have I purchased to be my wife, to raise up the name of the dead upon his inheritance, that the name of the dead be not cut off from among his brethren, and from the gate of his place ye are witnesses this day. Okay. And all the people that were in the gate and the elders said, we are witnesses. The Lord make the woman that is come unto thine house like Rachel and like Leah. Okay. Same thing, Rachel and Leah. They didn't choose to Jacob. Shit, Jacob chose them. That's what he chose. Well, he actually chose Rachel, but he had to get both of them. He got played, but he got blessed. It was a blessing because out of Leah come six of the tribes, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so he was overly blessed, right, with having multiple women to build our nation, right? Which two did build the house of Israel? See. Which two did build the house of Israel. And they say two because the handmaidens really were part of them, the concubines, which was Jacob's concubines were their handmaidens. They both had a handmaiden. And he had children with Rachel, Leah, and Rachel's handmaiden, and also Leah's handmaiden. He had children with them as well. Okay. So which two did build the house of Israel, and do thou worthily in Ephraim, and be famous in Bethlehem. Okay, and let the house be like the house of Perez, whom Tamar bore unto Judah. I just spoke about the story of Tamar and Judah back in Genesis. Okay, Tamar and Judah, because Tamar understood and knew, okay, that she had to have seed. Okay, and let that house be like the house of Perez, whom Tamar bore unto Judah, of the seed which the Lord shall give thee of this young woman. Okay, why? Because who's that seed? Boaz is from that seed line. Whose seed line is Boaz from? Tamar and Judah. Judah's sperm cell, and come out of the womb of Tamar. Okay, so that's his line. That's who they go back to. See, Boaz go back to Judah, right? because he's a Judite. Okay, go down to Jesse was his son, and who's the son of Jesse? King David. Okay, so Boaz took Ruth, and she was his wife. So Boaz took Ruth, and she was his wife. And when he went in unto her, the Lord gave her conception. So when he went in unto her, see, the Lord gave her conception to conceive seed, and she bore a son. Understand? Now listen to now listen here now. And the woman said unto Naomi, blessed be the Lord Yahweh, which have not left thee this day without a kinsman, that his name may be famous in Israel. And she shall be unto thee a restorer of thy life, and a nourisher of thine old age. For thy daughter-in-law, with which loveth thee, which is better to thee than 7 sons, have borne him. That was the purpose of the woman. Naomi understood, knew she was blessed to bore a son, an Israelite son. That's the goal. That's the purpose for the woman. And Naomi took the child and laid it in her bosom and became nurse unto it. It's midwife. And the woman, her neighbors, gave it a name, saying, there is a son born to Naomi. And they called his name Obed. Oh, I'm sorry, yeah. Obed. Boaz begat Obed. Obed begat Jesse. Jesse begat David. Salaki. I forgot about Obed. Okay. And called his name Obed. He is the father of Jesse, the father of David. Because why? It's the same seed line. It's the same fucking seed line. It's the same seed line. And that's the whole goal and purpose, right? For an Israelite woman and to be taken by an Israelite man. You don't choose. We choose. And if you've been chosen, you need to be thankful to Yahweh Shem Shai. You need to be like Naomi, Ruth, and so many other women. That's what it is to be an Israelite woman, like Sarah. Okay, you praise Yahweh Shem Shai that the Lord has given you to a man of the Lord. See, not just any man on this earth, not just some nigga, but you have the most precious man on this earth to bring forth the seed of Israel back into this earth. Okay, the righteous line, the righteous seed. Okay, I'm gonna read a little more of this. And the woman heard. Oh, I read that part. Now these are the generations of Perez, of Perez. Perez begat Heron, and Heron begat Ram, and Ram begat Aminabad, and Aminabad begat Naash, and Naash begat Solomon, and Solomon begat Boaz, and Boaz begat Obed, and Obed begat Jesse, and Jesse begat David. And that's the blessing, okay, that Ruth the Moabitess, that was her blessing. And quiet as kept, Ruth the Moabitess could have possibly been a Jake. We just don't know that for sure. But she was blessed because she was blessed enough to bore a son of Yashal. Okay, she bore the kingly line. Okay, a Judite, and that was the blessing, man. You know, and women understood that to have children were their blessing. All right, like I read earlier, that women would be saved through childbearing. Okay, 1 Timothy 2 and 14. Okay, right here, right quick. I'm gonna got a couple more scriptures. I'm gonna close out. This goes back to Isaiah 13 and 12. This is Isaiah 13 and 12. I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than a golden wedge of Ophir. Okay, a man is greater than gold, right? And you go back to Isaiah 4:1. In that day, 7 women should take hold of one man. 7 women should take hold of one man. Don't miss your opportunity. See, don't miss your opportunity in your pride. Don't let yourself get above and be above more than what you are. Know your role, know your place, know your job, and be thankful and praise Yahweh Shem Shai that he sent somebody for you. And a man of the Lord, not just some nigga that go impregnate you and leave you and let you go. See, women don't get it. Even women in Israel, you don't. You don't hear it. You don't understand. You got to know these scriptures. You got to understand what you're into. Okay. Now this is Proverbs. I didn't even want to do this video. I was never going to do this video, but it keep hitting me to do this video. I didn't want to do it. You know what I mean? But Lord made me just do it. I was going to do this weeks ago, but I said, you know, I'm going to do it. You know, it's Proverbs 8:4. King James, the king out of the King James, Proverbs chapter 8 verse 4. Unto you, O men, I call, and my voice is to the sons of men. Okay, it's not to you daughters, not to the women, it's to the men. Okay, the Lord calls unto the men of Yahshua. All right. Let me get one more. This is gonna be my last one. It's lucky. Let's see. I had it up there. Let me see. Salakia. I thought I had my scripture. Just give me 1 second. I thought I had that scripture up here. Yeah, okay. This is what I want. Yeah, this is what I want. Yep, yeah, but yeah, okay, yeah, no, I did. Okay, yeah. This is going back to let me go back to yeah. This is what I want. This is Isaiah chapter 32. And yeah, this is what I want. Okay, this is Isaiah 32. My computer is acting complete ass. Let me go to this. This is Isaiah 32 and 2. Yep. This is Isaiah chapter 32, verse 2. And a man shall be as a hiding place from the wind, and a covert from the tempest, as rivers of waters in a dry place, as the shadow of a great rock in a weary land. See, so that's the purpose of a man to a woman. Okay, he's a protection, he's a covert, he's a covering. Okay, see, and that's what and that's the problem today with all women in this world today. They feel like they're the greatest. They feel like they're the best thing that's ever since sliced cheese. Because you read Proverbs, oh, I'm a Proverbs 31 woman. Well, how about you read the first part of Proverbs 31? Okay. Matter of fact, let me read it for you. Proverbs 31, right? Let's go there right there. Since why all these women swear, and it's a woman on here to be called Proverbs 31. Well, let's go to this Proverbs 31. All right, this is Proverbs chapter 31. Okay, I'm gonna read this 1 through 9. Okay, because 10 down through is about the virtuous woman. Okay, and the virtuous woman can only be a virtuous woman if she's under complete subjection to her husband. Okay, if she's following the rules and order of her husband, starting 1 Timothy 2 and 14 on down, 13, 12 on down, or 9 on down. Sorry, 9 on down. Okay. And then, 1 Corinthians 5 and 11. Okay, but let me go here. This is Proverbs 31. The words of the king Lemuel, the prophecy that his mother taught him. What my son, and what the son of my womb, and what the son of my vows, give not thy strength unto women, nor thy ways to that which destroyeth kings. Because a woman can destroy you. She can break your heart. When you give your strength unto a woman, you give, oh, I'm so in love. Oh, she run you over. She do what she want. She calls all kind of lawlessness. She does anything she want to do. She become Jezebel, right? She become Jezebel. So our Lord said, give not woman liberty to gad abroad. And all these women nowadays got liberty to get abroad. Okay. Women are supposed to be like these women, right? Look at them. They're all put together, all in shape, nice looking, good looking, right? You know, they're put together. They're with him, right? They love him and he loved them, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. That's a happy man. Look at him smiling, man. Look at him. Hey, we look all wore down and shit. You know, look at me. I look all wore out. You know, this man, he's in his heaven. You know, it's a beautiful thing for him, right? He's taken care of. He's being set by, right? He got the pleasures that he's supposed to have as a man, his women. Okay, they're his treasures, right? So now, give not thy strength unto woman, nor thy ways to that which destroyeth kings. It is not for kings, O Lemuel, it is not for kings to drink wine, nor for princes strong drink. Okay, least I drink and forget the law, because they can throw you off. Now, he's not a righteous man. Okay, you know, he's going off. He got all the tattoos and shit. You know, he's of the world. But, you know, being that, there's a way to do it, but to do it in righteousness, not in wickedness, right? And pervert the judgment of any of the afflicted. Give strong drink unto him that is ready to perish, and wine unto those that be heavy at hearts. And when you have a lot on your mind, you know, sometimes a little wine help the stomach, and it helps you, you know, helps you deal with some things. Sometimes, you know, it helps you think a little differently. And you know, hopefully you have a better process. You can process things better after you sober up. Let him drink and forget his poverty. See, and remember his misery no more. Because when you drink, you let that shit off. You let it off. You know, come back the next day or whenever you're done. But for the time being, you're able to, you know, let it go. Right? Open thy mouth for the dumb in the cause of all such as are appointed to destruction. Open thy mouth, judge righteously, and plead the cause of the poor and needy. So that's the first part of it. And then the second part goes to start talking about a virtuous woman. But the first part of that tells you that give not thy strength unto a woman, because she's like strong drink. She'll destroy kings. Okay, she can destroy kings, she can destroy households, right? She can tear things down. But when you have her in subjection and she's in order and she's righteous, then you have a virtuous woman. Then you get Proverbs 10 on through. See, but the majority of these women is the first part of Proverbs. The first part of it is about staying away from women. Staying away from women. Give not thy strength unto a woman, because she destroyeth kings, right? So you're Jezebel type of women, but a woman that's out of order. But to a woman that's in order, now that's a virtuous woman. So you don't have to worry about giving your strength over into it, because she's already in subjection. See, she understands her place like Naomi. She understands her role like Ruth. Ruth is more of a Moabite than you Israelite women ever can be. Even if she wasn't an Israelite, she's more of an Israelite woman than you ever could be. See, because why? She was in complete order. She understood. She did the law. She went by what the law said, and she respected it, and it was done the way it was to be done. One kinsman didn't want her. The next one said, "Give her to me." That's the way it goes. So hey, I'm Yaquan for why I sold you how should I sanctify ones, whether you like it or you don't. Hey, that's on you. You know, you got to go to the Lord with that, right? That's to your destruction, because an Israelite man is your salvation, right? The man is your head. Your salvation comes through being married to an Israelite man. So with that said, call Lord Yahweh, Bashem, Yahshua, Bashem, Rakat, Kadash, double honor sponsor, elders, great millstone, root, teach, well, peace, sanitation to all you occupying four corners of the earth. I'm Yaquan from why I sold you how shall I sanctify one, Shalom in the body.